Okay, people, so it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, December 7th. I'm going to keep this real short because obviously you can see where I am. I'm working on Uncle John stuff. What I'm doing is I'm numbering these pages and I'm going to print them out, even though I know I can't give them to the judge. And because I didn't meet the deadline to submit them, I'm probably wasting my time. But I would have to do it anyway. But what brings me here right now is I can't really talk about it for too much, other than to say I didn't have a very good day today. It was a terrible day. I had to file a report, like a police report, against my oldest daughter. And probably charge her with theft. Because she basically robbed me today. And she grabbed my wallet and tried to take money out of my wallet. And it was a big kerfuffle, and you know, it was decided. It was decided. You know, I had to. I'm gonna do a wipeout. I'm gonna get some paper over the weekend. I'm gonna talk more about this because now that this has happened, this is a new flash drive. I don't know how to open it. Now that this has happened, doesn't want to open. Oh, maybe that's why. Now that this has happened, guess what's gonna happen to me? I have. Oh my God. I have MCFD showing up at the house again. Alright. Because of the argument that ensued after this happened. Because my middle daughter walked in on it. But I was already pulling away because I couldn't fight her. I was holding the baby, right? I couldn't fight her holding a baby trying to get my wallet. So I just backed away to, I guess let her take the money and leave, right? Because she feels that I owed her some money. So, just in light of the way it happened and, you know, what's been going on, I made a decision to file charges against my daughter for stealing money. And yeah, basically. But before that happened, you know, as I'm sitting here, and this is the point of this video, and I want to really keep it very short, because I got court at 9:45 in the morning, and technically I should be sleeping. But I was kind of sitting in a police station all day today, waiting to do this, right? Because I went to the police station first, right? But what stands out for me, people, is I'm looking at Uncle John stuff, and when he was in that care center, in that wheelchair, there were a couple of times where he was gooning. I don't know how to explain it, but just like my daughter was gooning today, she was gooning, she was etching out for this. First she wanted to change on my desk. I told her no, I needed it. And then she eyeballed my purse, and she, you know, she was getting stagey, like, gooning, right? Just, and she had this look in her eyes, you know. It was just awful. And just, you know, as I sit here and I think about Uncle John, he had that same persona. It's a persona. It's not, it's a look, but it's a persona, right? And he got all beady-eyed, and, you know, he was just, there were not a lot, but there were days. There were days that where he was kind of gooning. And in those days, like, you know, when you're being told by medical staff, I don't even know what I'm doing here. When you're being told by medical staff to I don't even see this flash drive. It's not even registering. Like, what the heck? I'm trying to transfer the files, right? But when you're being told by medical staff that you're not receiving medication, and you're telling everybody in his immediate family that he's not receiving medication, you know, you tend to believe them because they're supposed to be professionals, right? I mean, this is the medical environment. But they, you know, it's pretty well established people. They started giving him opiates from the first day he was on that gurney in the hall. That's how they kept him quiet. That's how they keep all those patients quiet in the hall, right? Everybody's got to be quiet in the hall. So many of them get opiates to keep them quiet. But they get goony. That's the thing. They get goony. So my daughter, in light of her opiate problem, she got goony today. And, you know, a decision had to be made because... So there's going to be consequences around that, which are very painful. Painful for me because, you know, my daughter needs help and she's not getting help. So when I go to court in the morning, I won't say tomorrow, it's in the morning, this thing isn't even picking up. I'll be sure to tell the judge I was in a police station for half a day yesterday. In part because of the lack of health care that she gets. She doesn't get proper health care, people. That's why I'm going to court. My daughter needs protection more than Uncle John needed protection. I don't think this thing fits, right? And, but she's not getting it because she doesn't have a $3,000 pension plan to tap into. And any other benefits you find along the way, right? So, I don't know. I suspect this will be thrown out tomorrow, right? But I'd like to think every judge can run his or her own ship, right? In other words, they can make the final decision as to whether they're going to throw it out or give me a little more time to just organize this paperwork. Because now that it's winter, I have a bit more time. You know, spring, summer, and fall. Well, we know where I am, right? I'm more than likely out in the yard. Which is fine because the yard is coming... Oh, the pond looks so nice. It looks so nice, people. I'm so glad that we did that pond. Yeah. But, you know... I'm having problems... Right. Coming in more than one direction. Obviously, I'm nervous because I got court in the morning. So what am I doing? I'm punching holes in paper because I'm, like I said, it's going to take me a little while longer just to organize this. But once it's organized, then it will be easier to start focusing on court rules. Right? It's kind of hard to focus on court rules when you're still trying to just put the paperwork together that you've had sitting on your sewing table for 2.5 years or 2 years or whatever it is. Because that's pretty much what it's been. Right? Time flies. Especially when you're busy. Right? Oh my God. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. And then I'll do some kind of little video tomorrow, I suspect. Just to, assuming I don't go to jail. Right? You never know. I might get charged with contempt yet. End up in jail because, you know, they might ask me something like take down the videos and I'll be like, no, you can put me in jail. I'm not taking down my videos. If they want the narrative to change, they can help to change it by doing the right thing. And that's not extortion on my part. That's just asking for justice, especially in light of the things that have been going on in my life. Right? Like, there's no reason for what's going on with my oldest daughter. You know, it's clear that she has mental health problems and she needs assistance. And there's not enough housing out there, people. For even someone like myself and my youngest daughter. Now it's stuck. No, it won't come out. Oh, there it is. right, to try and get housing for her because she can't do it for herself. And there's lots and lots and lots of variables in there. So, gooning. Uncle John was gooning too. My daughter's gooning. Uncle John was gooning. And it kind of makes me wonder, you know, why so many people rely on opiates to control others. Because both are controlled by other people. Right? Just like up by the front room. You know, you got that long line of tents. Right? And the cops on the other side of the street, like I said, it's the weirdest relationship I've ever seen. And I don't quite understand it. But, well, and then you've got the old people gooning with lying healthcare workers trying to cover up that fact. So, all I can say is I'm not giving up on Uncle John, and I've never given up on my daughter. It's just, it's going to be that much harder to help her. And it doesn't matter what I do. I never seem to be able to help her for very long. I mean, I can get her, you know, sometimes, you know, I can get her to a state where she's normal, but, you know, if she gets sick and she ends up in the hospital and she gets kicked off of the methadone, once they're off the methadone, you know, it just brings in a new, like, for example, before I go, just to give you an example, sorry about that. Her doctor, I'm paying attention to this, so who knows how long that was going on for. Her methadone doctor only comes in once a week, between 3 o'clock and 5. That's it. Once a week between 3 and 5. And if Sierra doesn't show up within that 2-hour window, where there's like 50 people in that 2-hour window that this doctor sees, right, then she doesn't get a prescription for methadone, and she can't go anywhere else in town to get one because they're not allowed to do that, these doctors, and the hospital won't give her one. So there you go. Her only other choice is the heroin on the streets. Now her pharmacist, like her doctor, called like my house like a couple days ago. Yesterday. It was yesterday. To remind me, or whoever answered the phone, that, you know, this doctor doesn't come in until Thursday, between 2 and 3. Although, my daughter's been going there quite regularly on different days, trying to get a prescription. So it's not like my daughter hasn't been trying. She's just going on the wrong days, because she's not well, and she's, you know, lost touch with reality, and, you know, it's like, it's tough. It's really tough for her. So, you go ask for help. You know, I go to the police station, I ask for help, and now I got social workers coming to my house again. Because of this Agenda 21 UN something, right, where, you know, it kind of boils down to don't breathe, as if people don't fight, right? And if they want to throw in that opiate card, well, there's thousands of people that are addicted to opiates in Surrey. That's a big problem, like a really big problem. And, you know, you can't run away from the issue in terms of never talking to your daughter again. I'll get into it with that chart, because I don't want to really babble on about it, right? And, and now you've got Uncle John living in a bubble gooning. He's been gooning for 2.5 years. He's been gooning ever since he ended up in the hospital, people. I just find it strange that two groups of individuals in our population are targeted for gooning. And nobody finds that suspicious. You know, what is the difference between Uncle John and Sierra? They're both deserving of health care, but why does one get one and the other one doesn't? For the same problem. Right? Because I'm sure if Uncle John wasn't on opiates and could see the kids, once he got his mind back and realized where he was, he probably asked to come home. Because in that dream that I had, he was on his belly wanting to get up. And the people that had him wouldn't let him get up. And I was standing behind him, having to fight. Telling them that we're going to find out what the hell happened to him, first of all. And then, yeah, he's going to get up and he's going to go where he wants to go. Not where you want him. So no matter what happens, I guess I just have to keep plugging away at it. And that's why I'm doing this. Alright? Just plugging away at it. So I'll leave it at that.